Abrupt endings at new beginnings. This week, 8 on Your Side was the first to tell you how 11 disabled veterans claim they were fired from a shelter that caters to homeless veterans. Well, now new allegations of racial and homophobic slurs by the local pastor who runs the shelter. The CEO of New Beginnings insists that everyone is lying. 8 on Your Side investigator Walt Buteau here now with both sides of this controversy.
Keith, New Beginnings has received millions of dollars in taxpayer money over the years to house homeless veterans. The pastor who runs it tells me he has always welcomed everyone regardless of color or sexual orientation. But former employees and volunteers claim some of his remarks made them feel unwelcome.
What are we having for dinner tonight?
New Beginnings CEO Tom Atchison tells us he's never said a racial or homophobic slur. Neon Frazier, who volunteered at the shelter for 4 years, is one of several who claim otherwise.
Then he would refer to us as...
He talking about whatever. Who's playing that music? I like the guys the veterans want to hear. Well, they don't need to hear that.
Another allegation Atchison denies is he would not let Bobby Coy live here because of his sexual identity.
He didn't have any respect for me or my decisions.
He would call her all kinds of things that's not polite. A lot of homophobic things that he would say.
Coy says the issue started when he was homeless and asked to move into New Beginnings.
Pastor Tom was actually in the office, and he made the comment that that's not going to happen.
Did you refuse to let Bobby Coy live here because of his sexual orientation?
No.
Coy did eventually move in and was later employed until he was terminated along with 10 others late last month. They claim they were fired after questioning how Atchison spent federal funds to run New Beginnings that we're told receives about $70,000 a month from the VA. Why did you stay there if it was a hostile environment?
Because I know the vets need my help.
Would you swear to this that you heard these words more than once?
How many Bibles can you bring? Because I can put my hands on all of them. Want me to put my feet on them too? Because that is definitely the truth.
Pastor, I've talked to more than a dozen former employees and witnesses who say they've heard you say these remarks. Are they all lying?
Yes.
All of them are lying?
Yes. I've got 30 years with me and my wife, with several staff members that will vouch and say they've never heard me say the N-word.
Very disappointing coming from him that's supposed to be a pastor or a leader of a flock. Those words should never utter his mouth.
Everyone's lying. You're telling the truth.
That's right.
Why would they lie?
Because they're disgruntled employees who have their own agenda. They want to run this place the way they want.
The former employees say they have all been interviewed by VA personnel about their claims, but VA Public Affairs tell us there is no investigation right now of New Beginnings.
But New Beginnings gets a lot of taxpayer money to help house these veterans. Is that at risk?
Well, so the VA flip-flopped on that question, at first telling us earlier this week funding was not affected. Now they say new referrals to New Beginnings that pay about $50 a day are paused due to the turnover in personnel. According to Atchison, as soon as his new staff is certified, the shelter will be able to receive new referrals. We'll stay on top of this, obviously. More developments expected.
All right. Thank you, Walt.
Okay.
And if you have something you want 8 on Your Side to investigate, you can call the 8 on Your Side helpline at 1-800-338-0808.